The first look at Fallout 76 reveals more than you think. Thousands of people spent all of yesterday staring at a bobblehead, and some of them weren't even stoned college students. They were video game fans, and the bobblehead was actually on a Twitch stream run by Bethesda. The game developer began the stream early yesterday morning, which featured nothing more than a test pattern and a bouncy head version of its iconic Vault Boy character. Still, that was enough to get almost 140,000 Fallout fans, curious enough to watch the stream live. And that curiosity paid off in a big way when, about 24 hours later, Bethesda dropped the first teaser for the next game in the Fallout franchise, Fallout 76. Now that number should have special significance if you're a Fallout fan, but for those not in the know, let us quickly fill you in. Fallout takes place in an alternate retro-futurism reality where the United States got nuked, but a big chunk of the population protected themselves in underground bunkers called vaults. And a lot of the vaults were also set up as weird social experiments. Some were installed with evil despotic leaders. Some were secretly pumped full of psychotropic drugs. As a result, most of them went off the rails pretty quickly, but some control bunkers supposedly stayed on track, promoting that idealistic 1950s society the vaults were supposed to represent. And one of those vaults was Vault 76. Of course, it doesn't tell us a ton about what this new game is really going to be like, but it does offer a few hints. For one thing, most of the Fallout games take place over 100 years after the bombs were dropped. But according to the game's lore, Vault 76 was supposed to open only 20 years after the apocalyptic event, meaning this game will probably take place much earlier in the world's timeline. And based on the date of October 2102 on that Pip-Boy, it looks like they're fudging the lore a bit and setting the game 25 years after the bombs dropped. Or who knows, maybe there was some issue with the door that took them 5 years to open? We've also always heard that Vault 76 was situated somewhere close to DC and Virginia. And sure enough, the teaser is set mostly to John Denver's song, Take Me Home, Country Roads. And it took a lot for me to not sing that just now, which is about West Virginia, leading a lot of fans to speculate that the game will take place in the rural mountain regions of that state, Appalachian country. We also see a couple of mentions of Reclamation Day in the trailer, which probably means the game is going to be about humanity's first attempt, led by the citizens of Vault 76, to reclaim the Earth from the radioactive creatures who inhabit it now. An attempt that probably doesn't go spectacularly well, considering there are still radioactive feral ghouls wandering around 100 years later. But hey, at least people are trying. As for the gameplay, we didn't see any of it in the trailer, but anonymous sources close to Bethesda have been leaking info about what the actual experience of playing Fallout 76 will be like. According to Kotaku, the game will be an online survival RPG inspired by games like DayZ and Rust. Now, this won't be Bethesda's first dip into the online game pool. They've attempted it before with The Elder Scrolls Online, but that game was met with mixed reactions and really wasn't a huge surprise. Bethesda has always been known for its incredible storytelling and amazing single-player experiences, and expanding those charms into the multiplayer realm is no easy feat. According to rumors, Fallout 76 began as a more straightforward multiplayer version of Fallout 4 before slowly transforming into the survival RPG version it's seemingly become. And that would seem to make sense for the studio, allowing it to hold on to the storytelling elements that they excel at while still allowing them to experiment with online play. And by setting the game about a century earlier than the main series, it gives them 100 years of blank pages in a different part of the country that we have seen so far to fill in as the game expands, adding new missions and stories. But what do you folks think? Are you excited for more Fallout? Are you excited to see it go the MMO route? And what's the longest you've ever stared at a bobblehead? Let's discuss. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get alerted every time a new video drops, like today's episode of The Dan Cave. Dan Casey is breaking down all the new anime you need to see this summer. For more ways to stay out of the sun, keep checking Nerdist.com.